enjoyed the different exploration rooms, and part of our presentation is you also sharing. So our talk will be about the role of the teacher, role of the environment, and how we can apply it in our teaching. So we entitled our talk Reggio Inspired Teaching, Facilitating Learning, Exploration, and Reflection. So let's start first with your experience in your assigned room. So we will show you your pictures and we will ask some speakers or teachers to share their experience. So let's start with my room. It's the Nature and Discovery Center. Alright, so while you were doing the activity, we were also documenting. So here, we started with the first station. This is self-portrait. Let me ask the help of Ibudara. Ibudara, how was your experience in the self-portrait? This is the picture of Ibudara.
Yeah, actually, it's so fun because for me, this for me personally, I make it my personal image with using the natural bean, leaf, and other material. It's like we explore, use the painting and others. Thank you.
Thank you, Budara. Now let's go to the second station. This one is painting with natural paintbrush like leaves, branches. Let me ask the experience of Ibu Pam. Where's Ibu Pam? Toilet. Okay, can I just ask the help of Ibu Fanny?
This is my yeah. The second one, the one with the leaves and branches, not the log. So my experience is that we are required to make paintings using only branches. Actually, only branches. But later on, we still the other ones leaves because it is hard for us to just stop with the branches. But by the end of the day, we already have the whole, what is it called, artwork, a working artwork, and we are happy for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, in this picture, that's why I wanted to call Ibu Pam because Ibu Pam and Ibu Tara were fighting when they were doing the painting. Ibu Pam was saying, "Do not touch the sun, it's not yet finished." And Ibu Tara, "No, it's okay." So they were really like kids fighting over the painting. And then the last station is design a log. So we provided a log. We gave them art materials such as paint, there's also chalk, there's also ribbons, and different kinds of thread. Can I ask the help of Pagian? This one is Pagian. He chose the log as his first station. So he was just quietly sitting there designing. How was your experience, Pag?
For me, it's easy to start with doing something that no one touched yet because it's like a free or it's like a blank paper that I can start whatever I want to do. And in a way, it just makes me feel at peace while doing it also.
Alright, thank you so much, Pagi. So, our room, the inspiration is really about using nature. So, we did not use papers or paintbrush. We allowed the teachers to use the different materials from the environment. We go to station 2.
Maybe we can go to room 3 first.
room 3 first.
So this is room 3, which is the stone nook. So the only materials there are stones, of course, and some twigs and popsicle sticks. So there are also 3 areas, and we have their 3 pictures. So in the first group, we have their TAs, Ibu Novia. First Ibu Novia. Can I call Ibu Novia to share your experience in Area 3? Okay. Okay, my experience is first my mind is blank and then I try to find some word and I just make the word like the idea is dirty, going something like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu. For the second picture, those that's Ibu Jen forming letters using stones.
The activity that was provided in there allowed me to be creative and also to work with other teachers because we're finding the letters and try to form words.
Thank you, Ibu Jen. And the last one, it's Ibu Ilma.
Ibu Irma, please stand up.
Bisa jawab nggak apa-apa nih? Ya udah bisa jawab. Jadi ya itu tadi bikin tower interaction. Terus kita juga bikin smiley kaca, expression kita. Terus milih kosakata, eksperimen membuat kosakata. Terus kayaknya itu aja sih. Menurut gue happy banget bikin itu. Terus menurut saya happy banget. Serius. Ya, happy, terus experience oke. Excited sih, happy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. We can now go to room 2, which is the light and shadow room.
So for room 2, we asked the help of the GP teachers. We really made the room very dark. So all the windows were covered with buffalo, and we had 3 stations also there. First is the DIY sandbox. The second one is we made our own mini projectors. And third one is we used the OHP. Do you still remember what the OHP looks like? There, so we borrowed one from Sunflower and they were tracing their shadow. So, here are their pictures. There. Okay. So, this one is Ibu Irma. How was your experience in making your own mini projectors? They were playing with different figures.
Senang banget juga.
Bugis. Siapa ya?
Ken. I thought before you wanted to like, Irma, look at here and smile. And my face there. Okay, so for grade 1 and 2, I think because they are having Emilia, it's fun, good. incorrect. They have a correct answer, it's a 3. So it's really out of the book because me, I don't know what it said, but the other can guess. And using flashlight is not really what happened there before, yeah. It's not really appear, but when I'm using my phone flashlight, it's really come out. Thank you. It's nice.
Thank you very much. Let's call Pa Bobby and the team. Let's go. How was your experience, Pa?
Bobby, microphone.
Yang saya dapat adalah ternyata pembelajaran itu dapat dilakukan dengan hal yang sederhana dan yang dekat dengan kita.
Wow, actually it's very meaningful insight from Pa Bobby. He mentioned that he just now realized that actually is in the learning process. Actually, we can use something simple, something familiar with, something close to us. Thank you, Pa Bobby.
And then the last one is the DIY sandbox, Ibu Aubrey and Pakia.
Yeah. I think Pakia first. Pakia. Pakia aja. Ibu Aubrey is not get bored with microphones, you say.
Ibu Aubrey eating the chocolate.
Yeah, first of all, the room is dark. Yes. The second is it's the material is fun to interact to. So basically, the Ibuana said think like a student. Okay. So we it's more comfortable that student can be creative to the materials, can be more get into the creativity, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experiences and your reflection as well. So we will take some of your answers, especially with using only the materials that are available in the classroom. So can I ask the facilitators, the GP teachers, and we also tap Ibu Tanya because Ibu Tanya attended the sunflower workshop also before. So can we ask maybe 1 or 2 facilitators, how was it there with the students? Can I ask maybe Ibu Shell?
Wait, Ibu Sel, wait.
Okay. Once again, good morning. So, what was the role of the facilitators in the room? So, what I observed with the teachers, they acted like a kid. And as a facilitator, we just watch them and give them rules to follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so, for the students in the classroom, do you think the teacher gave you direct instruction of what to do, or just they let you go in the different areas? So the facilitators let you go. So we have a question for you. We have a question can we have a 2 minutes think, pair, share? What does it mean to be a facilitator other than a traditional instructor? 2 minutes starts now.
So the facilitators are the ones who were with you in the room earlier, And traditional instructors are you giving the instructions in the class.
1 minute. Okay. Can we ask one pair to share what to talk about? Maybe a pair at the back. Can we ask room 12, Ibu Carla, Ibu Nikki?
Yeah. Good morning, teachers. Yeah, in our group we are. I'm sorry. Yeah, good morning. Well, in our group, sorry, I'm the chatter. In our group, we were talking like how Ibu Anna, our facilitator in the room earlier, like did a facilitator wherein she did directly or really did not give us a clear instruction what to do. Told us think and act like kids, as we did. So we just explored, go there, and we are actually discussing it within our group. Yeah, how is it different from a traditional instructor, wherein the traditional one will tell us like, okay kids, here we go, these are the certain things that we're gonna do, number 1, number 2, number 3. And we're saying that Ibu Ana did not do like that before, and she just allowed us to explore as a facilitator. In that way, we found out that a traditional instructor is different from a facilitator who just allow the kids to like explore and go and discover.
I like the word discover. Okay, can we go to the next slide? So this time, can we have a very short reflection time? In one word, how would you describe your teaching style? Are you a facilitator or more of like a teacher-led instructor? Need to share, just think the answer in your mind, keep it there. Because we will be sharing with you Reggio inspired teaching approach. So just a disclaimer, we use the word inspired because we are not practiced or licensed Reggio instructors. We are just inspired by how we use it to teach the children, especially in the lower grades. So, one important factor in Reggio Emilio is we are facilitators and at the same time co-learners because we learn together with the students, right? We just don't stand in front and give the directions. We let them explore and discover what to do because Reggio Emilio is all about sparking curiosity and creativity. That's why some of you mentioned a while ago, it was creative, it was fun, and we discovered the things that we can do with what we have only in the classroom. That is why the second one, we guide and document students' experiences because we do it to make the learning visible to them. Not to us only with the grades and the outputs, but they can also see where can I improve? What did I do good? How about their parents? They can also see their learning. That's why the documentation part is important because as teachers, as facilitators, based on what we see, we tailor fit the needs of the children, the activities according to their level and needs. And that is why the third one, we provide support and resources that encourage deep thinking and exploration. So, I will just share one student here. This is Kai. Can we close up? So what we share with you are the pictures of grade 1 and 2 students. So we will walk you through because we have been trying it for weeks already. Let's say 3 weeks. So Kai, this is the first time that I opened the Learning Center in grade 1 Bali. So at first, this is the first day, I didn't give instruction. I just let them go to the areas that they want to. I want to see what will they do with the new materials that they have. And this is the discovery and sensory area. This is the kinetic sand. So here, I saw Kai pushing the kinetic sand, touching it, making it fall. And one thing that Ibu Elena shared to us last time is that in the classroom, teachers and TAs, we should all see our students. Before, they asked us to have a layout of our classroom. And one question that she asked us, where's your table? Where's the TA's table? And if there's something blocking the view, she asked us to change it because it's very important to let us see what are the children doing in the different areas. So here, Kai is pushing. And let's go back to the one that I mentioned before. We guide. We co-learn. We learn with them. So this time, I sat beside him and I asked him, what are you doing? What do you feel? And he answered, it's weird. It's weird for me because it's like very sensory for him. But he said it's fun. I think I can do like this. So from there, I can see that he's very interested in different shapes, in drawings and all. So that's the learning style of Kai, or maybe one of his learning style, or where he enjoys the activities in the school. Okay, so we have here different pictures also. That okay, this one pastas, and then we have from here on top nature walk, because in Reggio, Emilia we use the environment as the third teacher. Okay, so this is an activity in science where we had a nature walk. This is tuning in also. Later, Ibu Tans will discuss how we connect inquiry and Reggio approach in the classroom. And this one also in Toraja, aside from the learning centers, we also have differentiated areas. You might think, Ibu, it's so many things happening in the classroom, but hopefully you will see later on that it's effective, it's working. Okay, so the next slide. How can teachers encourage critical thinking and exploration in the classroom? So this is not new to us teachers because it's just a strategy. So we use open-ended questions like, what do you notice about this? Why do you think this happens? How could we find out more about this? Instead of close-ended questions like what, when, where, you ask them to explain, you ask them to explore, and ask more questions because kids are naturally curious. They really want to know more. And they will share if you will keep on asking questions like this. For the next slide, this is supported by, of course, again, important factor in Reggio approach is the environment. Okay, that's why we have here, aside from the centers, we also have materials that can provide curiosity to the children. Because once that light bulb sparks, they can do a lot of things. Okay, so here, we provide materials that are sourced from nature. So later on in your classroom tour, teachers and TAs, I hope you get to explore the different learning areas because we have their nature materials. Leaves, twigs, buttons, pet bottle cups. Okay? Aside from the learning inside the classroom, we also have learning outside the classroom, such as the field trip, CSW. We also have IP. So if you can see teachers, we have been doing it, right? It's just that maybe we're not aware that we're doing it, but we are doing it already. So for the next one, This is again another example of how we can accommodate the spaces in the classroom. So this is, for the first one, we have flexible seating. Can we make it bigger, Ibu? So this is a sample from Boogies. If you can see, we have a lot of spaces where children can go around. Okay, maybe you might be thinking, will they run? What will they do? Okay, so we provide areas spaces in each areas, but we also have the carpet, still the carpet, and we kept the same number of tables and chairs. So for the next one, it's very important that we have interactive displays. Okay, so this is one example where we have a board and students will just write or draw what they thought of. Some teachers would put questions here or some activities and students will just freely draw there. And then the last one, okay, we have here a sample of a classroom display. Again, if you can see, teachers, we are doing it already. We are posting our students' work already in the classroom because this is part of documentation. They see how they learn, what they learn. And alright, and I end my part with with the next one you. Okay, my lovely student. If you know him, my lovely Abraham, my lovely Abe, my lovely Abe. Abe, just to give a background, he is behind academics. Even in terms of socialization. It takes time for him to focus and sometimes, last year, especially in semester 1, we would always have a pep talk in the morning. I don't like that or I don't like to do and finish. So we have that talk every morning and I let him understand that he needs to do this and that. Okay? And then here in semester 2, I am quite proud of him actually because since the learning center is open, he is more responsible now that I have unfinished. This is him doing unfinished. He came to me, he always come to me every day, Miss, do I have unfinished? I don't like to have unfinished. So he tries his best now. Maybe we cannot see, because in academics, we can always give support, right? But in terms of independence and responsibility, it's also we can also give support to that in any other way. And this is for me an evidence that Reggio approach and the learning centers and the DI, they're working. Maybe it's a slow progress, but it's there. So I hope you get to do that also and experience with your students. Thank you.
Thank you, Karel. So now that Karel explained the role of the teacher in the environment, how can we teachers really plan and integrate our objectives? So here, we have the project-based learning and emergent curriculum. So this is still part of Reggio, but later I will connect it with the practice that we already have. So in the early years, we have what we call the emergent curriculum. So what they do is always you always want to find out the interest of the child. So the keyword actually in Reggio is the interest. So how do we do this? Actually, when I was teaching in preschool before, we have PTCs, but the PTC is not for us to give the grades of the students. We talk to the parents like first 2 weeks of the year. We invite the parents, we have a conversation with them because we want to get to know the child. We ask them, what are your interests? What does your child do at home? Do they watch this movie? Or what are their toys? And with that, we continue the observation in our classroom. So in the classroom, you have loose part, you have You have different materials. And you will continue your observation and check what the parents said. Oh, in this spot, oh, they like playing with the clay. Oh, they like toys. Oh, they also are interested in Roblox. So with that, you plan together as a team. Because the children have different kinds of interests, but we can also put it together as a group. And with that, you can already plan your curriculum. So, because we already know the interests of the child, we can now go to project-based learning. So, project-based is the in-depth research of the topic for them to really get to know their interests. So, for example, we brought them to the garden, and suddenly they saw butterfly, cocoons, and now they're interested in the life cycle of a butterfly. So that one can either be a short or long-term project, because this one we really don't cannot predict. Even if we plan, okay, we'll do this one. We will have museum. We will visit the museum, and then once they get to the museum, they find something another interesting topic. So it can either be short-term or long-term. But this one, the project-based learning, our goal is for them to relate their interest with the topics that we have. So we make their learning fun, we make their learning interesting, and with that, you can see that they are really having fun. They enjoy the activities that we're preparing. So for example, the life cycle of a butterfly, we could use that in the different centers. Like in English, we use that in stories. In science, we create the different prototypes of the life cycle. So you will see that all the subjects will really integrate. So you might say, oh, these are new topics again, new words, new ideas. But actually, how can we create meaningful experiences? We're already doing it. This is where inquiry-based learning comes in. I mentioned earlier, we use the interest, right? And then the inquiry-based learning, we already use interest in the tuning in part of the inquiry-based approach. We get the interest of the child so they get hooked to the topic. And this is very important in our grade level planning. As a team, one subject or one activity will be the hook or the hooking activity for the whole term. So when we're able to get the interest of the child already, everything will follow. So that one, we're already doing that in the tuning in phase. Now, we don't stop in the classroom teaching. We go further. And that's why recently, in the past weeks, you see a lot of speakers coming in. The speakers could be us teachers in the different grade levels. It could be teachers. It could be parents. It could even be outsourced speakers, so that they get to know more learnings, not only from us teachers. And at the same time, that's why we have field trips. The field trip can be a tool for us to let them see the real world. So it's actually good that we really integrate the field trip in the planning ahead of time. So we can foresee, oh, this one can be part of our tuning in or going further stage. So it's from our words, we get to see it in reality. And then last one, taking action. This is what I also learned from positive education. We want our kids to also see the real life situation, right? So it's not only in the classroom. So the end goal is that after we teach all of these learning objectives, where do we apply it? How do we apply it? What is the use of this? And we do that in the taking connection part. So here, for example, in our term 4, thinking ahead, because we will be visiting Animalium. It's like a museum for animals, and it's also about the past and the present, how the environment affected the animals. The end goal for Q2 is the taking action is we're going to have like an environment week. They will share how they are the current environment situation, what is global warming, what's climate change, but it's through their experiences. So our goal here is for the kids to see the real life application. And that's also our request to all of the teachers and TAs. We don't only focus on the learning objective, but we also focus on the real life situation that we have. So the last one that I want to share with everybody is the documentation and reflection. I know all of us are always taking pictures. Actually, when we open our camera gallery, it's filled with the pictures of the child, right? Of the students, not our faces, not our family face. It's going to cover up a lot of our storage. But why do we do it? Because actually, the documentation is not for us. It's also for the kids. And actually, when you scroll back to your gallery, you see the journey of the child. You see how they are able to improve. And when we share this documentation with the children, they also see, oh, this was me before, and now I can write beautiful sentences. Before, I start with small letters, all small letters, no punctuation, but now I can create a complete sentence with the starting letters a capital and ends with any punctuation mark. So at least the kids are able to see it. But the thing that maybe we could also improve on is that we share this with the kids. Not only to the parents, but maybe during our fluid time, we sit with the kids, we show them the portfolios that we're making. Not only for the parents actually, it's for them to also see the journey that they had within the year. So what are the different documentation strategies that we have? So we have the individual or digital portfolios, the display or panels on walls. I borrowed the work of Pagian because it's the only one with label. So this one is the work of Pagian in the self-portrait. He labeled it with his name, but can everybody see it? No, right? Because in documentation, it needs to be like this. Big, so that the kids can also see it. And for the teachers and TAs, when we're displaying it, it's better if it's eye level of the child. So because us, we are adults, we can put it here or there. But for kids, you have to make sure that you go to their level. If you need to kneel just to reach the height of the child, you can. So it's better that it's really eye level so the kids can see their work. The kids can see the reflection of their classmates. The kids can see what are the materials they use. Oh, I also like this. Maybe in my next art activity, I'll use this. So that is something that we can reflect on. Is it eye level or do we need to change our classroom setup so that the kids can also see their work? Now make sure that when you're labeling it, it's big enough for them to see their work, for them to see the name of their students' output. Next. So what I just want to, how I want to end my talk is that we are already doing it. When we were reflecting on our talk, we went to each grade level and we checked what are the strategies that we have been using already. So I'll share it with you so that everybody knows that actually we're not starting a new approach. We are already doing it. We just want you to understand that these are the things that we're doing now. That is also under Reggio inspired teaching. So for 1 and 2, just like we already know, we are already learning, we're having learning centers, but the important part in learning centers is that we have loose parts. We give them any material that for us maybe we don't like it anymore because we're adults, but for kids, anything is actually interesting for them. So you just put it in different centers and let them play. Let them have their free time, maybe during circle time when they arrive early, let them play. Let them use those materials. If they want to use papers, let them. If they want to cut it, if they want to fold it, let them do that. And then storytelling, play-based and inquiry. We're already doing this also in English, but maybe we could also use puppets. But it doesn't need to be the fabric one. We could use the paper. We could just give them like the brown bag and then let them design their own puppet, and from there they can make their own stories. And then last one is the nature walks. So nature walk is also part of positive education. So we allow the kids to walk outside, create a walk path for the kids, for them not only to take a mind break, but for them to also see the environment and see the real life situation. Next, for grades 3 and 4, they are already doing also the IP exhibit. So you have been doing this for the past years and you allow the kids to research. I see when I walk in the second floor that the GP teachers are providing them with laptops, with iPad. They are already researching, and this is because they are interested in the topic. They understand what the topic is. And then we have Think, Pair, Share, because we don't only want to be teacher-led. We want it to be a child-led activity. So we give the kids the voice, their voice to share their ideas. And then we also have the student-led presentations wherein they have speak-up activities. They are able to present in different types of audience. It could be the admin, the teachers, or even their own classmates or other grade levels. And then lastly, for grades 5 and 6, this one, you have been doing this, so you have the debate and Socratic seminars. This one, during the language days, we had the extemporaneous speech. Then you also conduct different kinds of debate. And then we have the IP and CSW research project, wherein they went to a field trip, and at the same time, after that, they presented it in front of the parents. And lastly, it's the digital documentation of learning. This is our portfolios. So this one, instead of only sharing it to the parents, we can also share it with the kids. So Ibu Karel and I would like to end with this. By embracing curiosity, getting the interest of the child, they will start to inquire. And when they start to inquire, we get to teach them different learning objectives, and they are able to have progress. The important thing is we document their journey. So when we are able to do that, we create rich learning experience for children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Tans and Miss Carol, for a very enriching section. Okay, so may I call Pawayu and Ibu Jade to present our certificate of appreciation to Miss Tans and Miss Carol. In recognition of their invaluable contribution as our sharers in this workshop, Transforming Education Through Inquiry-Based Approach, given today. So your insights and your expertise have enriched the learning experience, inspiring our teachers to embrace inquiry-driven methods to enhance student engagement and foster critical thinking. Thank you so much, Miss Carol and Miss Tans. And we would also like to photo. Okay. Yes. And also, before we're going to have our classroom tour, we are going to present this to our facilitators, our grade 1 homeroom teachers. Grade 1 and grade 2 homeroom teachers. Okay? So, may we call our grade 1 homeroom teacher, Miss Anna, Miss Maricel, Miss Sophie, Miss Joy. Grade 1 and grade 2, yeah, sorry. Miss, who else? Miss Pat. Miss Tanya. Miss Marfa, Miss Irma, Miss Mia, Miss Elsa, and Pa Camille. Come forward. Please receive your certificate of appreciation, of recognition as facilitators, okay, for this session. Teachers. Thank you. Now, before we are going to have our... I thought it's already lunchtime. Okay. We will have our class tour. Okay? So, group 1, where are you? Group 1, kindly stand up. Group... Yeah, group 1. You go with Miss Maricel. Ibu Shell, go with Ibu Shell and Ibu Sanya to Sunda. Go with Sunda. Sekarang, group 2. Group 2 with Ibu Elsa and Ibu Igna. Okay. Group 3 with Ibu Irma and Ibu Afrina. Group 4 with Ibu Karel and Ibu Rita. Group 5 with Ibu Joy and Ibu Giva. Group 6, okay, with Ibu Ana and Ibu Jihan. Group 7 with Ibu Tanya and Ibu Intan. Right? Okay. Group 8 with Ibu Tans and Ibu Novia to Ambon. Group 9 with Ibu Mia and this is the challenge. Ibu Sally